let's do this one more time. As mentioned, this is going to be our Inside the Masked Mayhem edition. You're listening to InterFed Radio. The voice of IWA Flip coming at you. What do you see right in front of you? Last time I forgot to mention that ticker at the bottom. Going to keep updating it from time to time. I was able to figure out that dang window. Let me see the names a little clearer. I had a bunch of typos there. I think I got most of them. If you see a typo, I'll bring it to my attention. I'll try and fix it by the next show. What you see down there right now, or what you saw pass by, is going to be the rivalry updates. I think I updated March and April are on there. Recording the show before the DXL posted, so next show I'll update the DXL rivalry channel. Before I get into the MML breakdown, I want to go ahead and give the QPL one more push. Commissioner Bug has shot over some images, give you guys a taste as to what's coming. A lot of action, a lot of play that doesn't require pay, just requires your activity. The Quantum Pro 300 reward system there should be a lot of fun to track. Setting off two new commissioner titles, the even and the odds. As the name sounds, they're going to be using the even holds or the odd holds on either side of the bracket, depending on which title you're going for. So yeah, I kind of like that idea of a unique way to win a title or win a commissioner belt. And of course, rivalry has concluded there. We had our first rivalry winner. And again, this is the QPL AWL rivalry. And the future Cameron Fate pulled off the victory. Managed a 497. I believe the other managers from the QPL, a few of them had 496. So a tough fought match. And a good write-up as well. So get into the action. QPL. Last free cycle. Last free week of transfers. And then Commissioner Bug will release a new report the following cycle. So let's get into the action with the MML. Let's start with Glorious Thursday. What we do on Glorious Thursdays is it's a tournament-driven show. If you look towards the bottom, that's where we have our tournament action. Every so often we select 8 fighters. Most of the time it's some of the newer fighters that come to the league. Of course, all of our shows are tied around angles. Recently on Glorious Thursdays, we had a big change. King Flip was booted. So General Buzz and Cookie, who manages the cook there in the Masked Mayhem League, are currently in charge. And they've changed things up a little bit, give us a little more action. Other than the tournament at the bottom, they've also started like a fatal 4-way. They call it a stable rumble. And what they do is take 4 fighters from each league, or from a stable. And they pit them against each other to see who's the hungriest, see who wants that shot at the title. The following cycle, he takes another stable, different stable, does the same thing. And then what they do is they take those 2 winners, have them face one another, and the winner gets a shot at the title. So kind of help move the pace along. Anyone that runs a league knows you're going to run into some ties from time to time when you're running tournaments. So yeah, at least like this, our champion stays busy. Glorious Thursday also has tag and 6-man. What we do with our tag and 6-man, that's Facebook trash talk driven. So if you want a challenge for it, unfortunately you have to be on the group. And that kind of moves those titles along. Right now, current champion is Unstable. Malik the Mad and Caspian Hellbroth are the 2 champions there. They're going to be facing the Yeti Warhammer. Six-man champions, the Devil Dogs, and I believe they'll be facing the Yeti as well. So that's Glorious Thursdays, and again, other than all that stuff is just commissioner driven, so that just keeps going and going and going. We take care of all those matches, so enjoy the matches when you see them. If you see your name on there, don't think you got to sign a match. We'll take care of all that. The other thing that goes on within the show is our series. We just finished the series there, like mentioned. The Cook and the Devil Dogs had their series, which ended in a friendship that led them to take control of Glorious Thursdays. Of course, they had help from the inside. Salvador Bain and Reaper Von Raven sabotaged the King from the inside, which made it even easier for them to overthrow the King. So, a lot of fun with those angles there. A lot of action. Those series, that series went best of 5, and the Devil Dogs pulled off with victory. So, congrats, Devil Dogs. Friday Night Mayhem. I mean, wow. What we do there is General Manager Sean Maccabee helps me with that show there. He selects 4 fighters. He randomly selects, also, he usually picks different, fighters from different stables, mixes it up, puts them in the Fatal 4-Way, and the winner gets a shot at the title. Again, keeps our fighters busy. They are definitely fighting champions. They fight cycle in, cycle out. And again, all the action is covered, all the action is taken care of. So if you see your name on there, don't worry, we got it. There's also our tag and 6-man on our on our Friday Night Mayhem. What we do with our tag and 6-man champions there is we have series, best of 3. And again, it's also driven by our Facebook group page. Kind of unfair for those that aren't there, but hey, we make it work. We were, challenged back and forth with all our commissioners on the group. And currently, I believe King Flip's Just Reckless is the tag champions. And I believe they'll be facing, I gotta double check that one. But 6-man, I know, is the Devil Dogs. They're the 6-man champions there. And they'll be facing Eric Bugg's infected Wildcats, or diseased Wildcats, whichever way you want to call them. So that's a fun series to watch. Saturday night main event also has their singles champion. And what we do with the Saturday night main event is the champion faces the Battle Royal winners. So cycle in, cycle out. Our champion goes up against Battle Royal winners. And like I said, most of our champions are fighting champions every so often. Like what happened this past cycle, Salvador Bain was our champ and actually won the Battle Royal himself back-to-back times. And secured himself a bye. So Salvador Bain is our current champion. Tag and 6-man, what we do with our Saturday night main event is our tag and 6-man champions. They're on main event face the league tag and 6-man champions. So, we process that match automatically. So, and that keeps that belt moving along, keeps that going. But to backtrack a little bit to Friday Night Mayhem and to these shows, like I said, the main thing, this is how we drive the shows. But what really made the shows is the series that we have on them. Friday Night Mayhem, we had the Bunny King series. And that one even escalated and boiled into the Revolution Wrestling League. So, these angles, we've taken them and spilled them into different leagues, which opened my mind to how we can, have some of this InterFed action and get trash talk intermingled and intertwined. So, a lot of fun working with Sean Maccabee on the Revolution Wrestling League and Friday Night Mayhem angle. Again, that's Sean McAbee and Brandon Madden, who pretty much orchestrated that angle. So Bones and the Bunny King had their feud. Bones actually ended up winning the overall series. But again, more than the series, just the angle that boiled over and opened the doors to even more action. So kudos to them too for opening my eyes. And a lot of fun. Right now we also have the Nixon Rathmore Beast series that's on the 7th and final match. That's been another angle that we're working with them, and should be amazing. They've had some great fights. This last one was a fight in the pit. I mean, come on, wow. I would love to go see a fight like that. But hey, that's Friday Night Mayhem action. Saturday Night Main Event has also had its tremendous amount of action. Some of you guys may have heard of Pato. Pato is one of my characters who means well, but just runs into so much trouble. He has rivalry / feud with Salvador Bain. They've gone back and forth a number of times. Currently, El Pato's up on their personal series, but Salvador won the last match, so that's enough said there. He has the belt. Even add more insult to injury to El Pato. He beat him, and he won the rivalry. Oh man, geez, add more injury to insult. So yeah, El Pato's pretty down and out right now. So hopefully he bounces back and get some gold around himself. But we've had a lot of fun on Saturday Night Main Event. A couple other series I want to mention. Dirty Work, Joshua Zales, whatever way you want to pronounce it, facing Skywalker. Dirty Work has made it pretty clear to everybody that that he hates masked wrestlers. So wherever you are, whether you're the Barracuda Boy in the Global Wrestling League, or Paragon or Daragon, whichever of you two survive with a mask, Dirty Work, he's coming for you. So a lot of fun. Dirty Work actually won that series, so watch out if you're a masked wrestler. Speaking of masked wrestlers, Mr. Grady White is going on a Respect the Mask tour. Pretty much going to take a tour around the InterFed and probably come back and have a final confrontation with Dirty Work if he makes it back alive. So Mr. Grady White actually, when he came to the MML, was humiliated for having his shark mask. So El Más Fantástico from Saturday Night Main Event took him under his wing and said, hey, you know what, this is, if you want to wear a shark mask, I don't care how ridiculous or stupid you look, hey, shit, that's who you want to be, do it. And, they started their Respect the Mask tour for Mr. Grady White. So, and now with InterFed, he's taken it, he's gone viral with it. So, should be a lot of fun to watch that take place. Along with those two series, we've had number of series with featuring our luchadores. Of course, El Más Fantástico and Malik the Mad had their series that escalated with a match on Face Off. Their Lucha War mask was phenomenal. If you want to look back at our bulletins, that was one to peek back at. And Perfecto Lucha has had his series. He's gotten the better of the Devil Dogs. Gotten him and Malik the Mad had a series that ended in a tie. So some great series, some great action. Of course, fan favorite Bonita and Lucy have their tag team challenge there on Saturday Night Main Event. Any of you tag team out there that think you got what it takes, want to face them in the series, come get it. Right now they're currently facing Latin. Some of the Latin ladies that have arrived, and I think the Latin League's got the better of them last cycle, so they're up 1-0. Last but not least, I want to cover Terror Tuesdays, which is our newest show there. And again, mentioned it last show. This is pretty much a crossover that's going to unify the BBL and the MML. Over on the BBL side of things, we'll start there. The Kid family destroyed the War Beast and is now the new blood champs there. King Flip got word from the Sheik that he wasn't too pleased that he tried to name the show and name it his own. So the Almighty Sheik kind of reworded and renamed the show to fit the Bloodbath League and fit his needs. So Terror Tuesdays in the Bloodbath League is now being presented by the War Beast. And the titles there are no longer Terror titles, there are Blood titles over on the Bloodbath side. So, very cool. I love the action. I love the intermingling. So, and as mentioned, every commissioner has different ways that they contest their titles. Commissioner Tuttle there is going to contest it every other cycle or every few cycles. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to have some InterFed action. The Kid family needs their revenge. And the Lords are there to see if they can get this action. So we'll have the Kid family face off against King Flip's Lords in some InterFed action. We'll start a best of 5 series to keep that card filled, to keep Trash Talk moving. So watch out for the Lords as they make their way into the BBL and start some shit. So heads up. Terror Tuesdays on the MML side is a little different. The Reign of Terror there started these titles and this challenge. See if anybody can beat them by at least 3 points. And, of course we accepted, so that's why we started the show. And I've tried, and kudos to Rich Riley. He's pretty much held on to those titles since he's started them. I've sent champ after champ, cycle after cycle to try and get him. I beat him a couple times, but never by 3. So, kudos to him. So, we'll keep trying to knock him out. So, Terror Tuesdays, if you do want a challenge for those titles, if you beat them by at least 3 points, as long as you mark the match Terror, I'll go ahead and I'll name you the champ. Well, okay, that about does it for Masked Mayhem Inside Edition. Hopefully it gets you a better understanding as to what's going on with all the flash. Again, we do try and do some pretty good reviews, a lot of trash talk. Flies through the pages in the Masked Mayhem League, so I know it's a lot going on, so that gets you a little bit of a taste. As always, want to end these shows with a little bit of a shout out. I want to shout out Commissioner Tuttle in the Bloodbath League. A lot of work getting a new league started, or getting a league revamped, I guess in this case. I believe 2 new fighters are coming to give them a hand and get some more activity. Cave Grotsky and Iron Zungif are coming to stir things up there in the Bloodbath League. So look for those 2 new fighters. Look out for their Lethal Lottery Tour, the Bloodbath League. Again, Commissioner Tuttle trying to revamp that league, so set it to a 6 wrestler limit. So if you're into some nice close combat action, check that league out right there. Again, I also want to shout out the Generation Next league because those 2 guys over there do an amazing job. They're over in the Iron Federation as well. They have pay-per-view Ground Zero coming soon, so check that action out. We're just waiting for them to get their, they're pretty much their league settled, and then start some action there. So kudos, Commissioner Nichols and James. Keep up the work. If you like, again, if you like that intimate action, they do feature, coverage of every title. They go in depth, card by card, and again, some very intimate action there in the Generation Next League. Again, a lot of styles, a lot of different ways to play this game. That's why we love it. Next show, again, we'll be featuring our Bronze and Jade, so check us out. You've been listening to the voice of IWA Flip. This is InterFed Radio. We're out.